No one is above the law. That is what a prosecutor told jurors during closing arguments in Hunter Biden's federal gun trial. Prosecutors tried to point to the, quote, overwhelming evidence against the president's son and called on jurors to pay no mind to the members of his family in the courtroom. The defense told the jury that the prosecution did not prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt. The president's son has pleaded not guilty to 3 felony gun charges. The jury has now entered deliberations. Let's bring in criminal defense attorney and legal expert Tama Kudman. Let's begin with the trial of the president's son, Tama. The defense rested today. Hunter Biden did not testify. Was that the right decision?
So we never know what decisions the defense camp are making because we don't know what we don't know, right? But there are a lot of reasons why you would not want a defendant to testify. And for the most part, the rule is unless you have something that the defense can say that is unique, that hasn't been presented by other witnesses, you typically don't want a defendant to testify.
And what did you think of the case that was presented by the defense?
So again, it's very hard to Monday morning quarterback, right? But I think the defense did a very good job of showing that this was a very emotional time for the Biden family, particularly for Hunter Biden, that he was going through a lot of difficulties, that he was battling addiction. And when you're dealing with these ATF forms, they are somewhat confusing in terms of the language. And Mr. Biden had just gone through rehab. So the question is, was he using drugs? In his mind, he may have believed that he was now rehabilitated and he wasn't using drugs. And so by answering no, the defense would argue he was being truthful because at that time he had gone through rehab and was fighting the addiction.
Well, let's switch gears. Former President Trump is being interviewed by New York probation officials today. It's a required step before his July sentencing and his criminal trial. Can you tell us, criminal case, forgive me. Can you tell us a bit about that and what that will entail?
Sure. So probation is playing the role of advisor to the court. It's probation's job to find out background information about former President Trump. What was your childhood like? Are there any psychiatric issues here? Are there any cognitive issues? Are there lifestyle issues that might have played a part in the actions that he's now been convicted of a crime, for engaging in, right? Probation has to tell the judge who is President Trump as an individual.
Well, let's take a listen to what Trump said during his first post-trial rally in Arizona.
I just went through a rigged trial in New York with a highly conflicted, and I mean highly conflicted, judge, where there was no crime. It was made up, fabricated stuff. They didn't want to bring the case.
Could comments like that figure into his sentencing or even his probation?
Absolutely, they could, because it shows a disrespect for the law. It shows a lack of remorse. It shows a lack of recognition of what he might have done wrong. The criminal justice system, one of the goals is rehabilitation. And when a person shows a lack of remorse and a lack of respect for the justice system, and remember, it's not just the system. 12 jurors have concluded that these charges were not only rightly brought, but that former President Trump was guilty of the allegations. And so the fact that he would go out in the public and be dismissive of the allegations and the conviction, disrespectful of the justice system, that is going to weigh on the judge.
Now, very quickly, Tama, he is the presumed Republican nominee. Could he need permission to travel?
Yes. So when a person is on probation, generally they have to stay within the territory or jurisdiction. And anytime a person wants to leave their jurisdiction, they would have to apply for leave to travel. Now, we have a unique situation here that we've never had before. We have the convicted individual happens to be the presumptive Republican candidate. And so he's going to need to travel, and the judge is going to be wary of the fact that, the Republican voters have spoken. This is the person they want to be their candidate, and, that he's got to respect the process and allow him to campaign to the extent that he needs to.
We'll leave it right there. Thank you so much, Tama.
Thank you for having me. It's wonderful to see you.